Hey guys, my name is Sediak and welcome back to another episode of Woodville here in City Skylines 2, where last episode, guys, I decided to add in the bank because the bank allowed us, guys, to increase the exports by 5%, which means we made 5% more money, but most importantly, decrease the imports by 5%, which means it was 5% cheaper. Because Woodville, this series, is all based on me earning revenue from the wood industry. We export it, and in return, we have to import every other type of good to be able to be successful and survive. Now, in doing so, it's been it's worked really well, okay? The amount of money that we exported, and what we have to pay to import has not been an issue. Until I added in the bank, and all of a sudden, the game has thrown a tantrum and told me that I no longer am able to afford, or the resource cost for food is so high. For food and also for convenience food. Which, I don't really want to get rid of the bank. I could, and it might fix my issue. I could get rid of it, and this issue might completely stay because it's now generated itself. But for some reason, the resource cost for food and convenience food is all of a sudden become too expensive for my businesses to actually sell. Now, we're importing food and convenience food. Actually, do you know what? Yes, we're importing a lot of food right now, even though it should be 5% cheaper. I don't know what's going on. I'm apparently also exporting convenience food, and that's because we set up a couple of factories last episode. But what I need to do today is I kind of need to create some food and some convenience food to stop this being a slight problem. Now, to be able to do that, if I go to my production, you'll know that to produce food, which is, I think, a material good, right? Food here, we need to have vegetable and livestock farms. Apparently importing it right now is not cost effective, so we got to do something about that. So I need to create a couple of vegetable farms, some livestock farms, and then to get convenience food, I need to process some grain and some livestock into it. Now, I basically need to create all the variations of farms, which is livestock, grain, and vegetable. Not textiles, we can get away with that. So I'm going to have to kind of build a couple of little farming communities. Now, this is slowly coming away from what it's meant to be, Woodville, based on the wood industry. But I do like the idea of exporting 5% more, importing 5% less on costs. It's only food that has since been a slight issue. So today, we're going to produce our own food and our own convenience food and see if we can turn the tides. And if we have to then export some of this food, we'll be getting 5% more money. So if you are enjoying this series and this episode so far, please make sure you smash that like button down below. We have a slight problem that we now need to fix, and I wonder if we're going to be able to do it. So what we need to do then is we need to first figure out an area where we can kind of grow this stuff. Now, I think maybe around here might be a good place for it. I've also got this whole area over here that we're pretty much doing nothing with. Or I could utilize these little islands down there, then they could grow the food for me. There's quite a few variations in where we can do it. But we also need to be able to bring the workers over here with relative ease. So something like this vicinity might be pretty okay. I might utilize the edges of Sycamore Woods right now and probably start around here. So we've got 3 areas in which we need to work with. So let's create an area here where we can get all 3 farms in. So we'll start with a dirt road. And I'm going to come off this here. I'm going to bring this going up. Now, do I actually make this part of Sycamore Woods for the workers to have ease and access to it? I think that might be a good idea, to be honest with you. So if I just come off this road here and kind of slightly bended that there, allow that to now run straight, right? And then we will choose, so the snap is there. So if I go to here and then literally bend that in, we have I don't know if that's a good idea to have it like that. We have a connection to the highway from this route. So we're going to split a road just here. Okay, and I'm going to create a little section just there. And so we got an area here and then 2 areas just there. I want to bring this down a little bit. Now I know we need double the livestock to the grain and the vegetable. So this would be the livestock one, which is slightly a little bit bigger than splitting these into 2. So with that said, we'll start with our livestock farm to begin with. So I'm going to put that just here. We're going to use the anarchy so I can make it super big. And then we'll go down to here. Run this all the way down. Now, how far do I take it? I reckon I'm only going to take it to about there. And I'm going to run this all the way around right now. So this is going against everything that this series is technically meant to be. But I've got to fix this problem somehow. I could get rid of the bank, but I do like the idea of being able to earn more revenue from our exports and make us a little bit more of a powerhouse. And the fact that we can import 5% cheaper makes us very good bargaining chip for other economies. So there we go. I've got a livestock area now down. Now this is going to provide, I don't know how many jobs. I don't know if it kind of does provide any jobs. Okay, 1 employee so far. That's great to see. Yeah, we'll see how much we do start producing. Now, obviously, it won't be enough, okay? I just want to see if I can produce something and try and kickstart some type of an economy. But it remains to be seen. It does remain to be seen. So next, we're going to do some grain. So run this all the way down. And I've got to decide where the split's going to be on all of this. So I don't think we're going to be running too far before we decide to come back and connect in. Very good, very good. And then we'll do the vegetable farm next, which I'll throw that just there. And that's going to mimic all the way up to here. Run it so far down. Just to go around the back of the houses. And I'm going to make it go just slightly into here. Nothing too crazy. Just picks up a little bit of extra tonnage. There we go. Beautiful. I actually think, right, this might be the same size of these right now. So that is... Do we know what the tonnage area actually is of this? Not particularly, but there's minimal... There's only 1 employee in each building right now, which is hilarious. So we're going to have a little bit of a fast forward. See what we can kind of get up to with all of this. But it's a nice start, isn't it? It's a nice start. Now, if I go to the production panel, and you'll now see what tonnage we are now producing. So we've never produced livestock, grain, vegetables before in the past. We have not produced any. But you can now see that we're starting to get a little bit of tonnage coming in. The only raw material we've ever produced is wood. Yeah. So we'll see how these numbers change. We'll have to obviously give it a bit of time. The only issue is these are not within the areas. I've just realized I'm not within the resource area of all this stuff. So I should have really paid attention to that first, right? So natural resources. Now this is land for grain. So it's fertile land for grain, which is all of this, which we're okay. Actually, I think I might have accidentally put it in the right place and not realized. I think I actually might have just put that in the right place and not realized. I wasn't even paying attention, and I think I've accidentally got it right. So grain and vegetable need fertile land. The livestock does not. So that works out really well. Now, we'll have to wait until more employees work in there. That's something that will eventually just kind of level up itself. And so will the production numbers. So you can see that we do have like a deficit of tonnage. We seem to going to be moving into a surplus at some point of, there we go, vegetables, which is great. It means we're exporting it. But we got a long way to go before the other stuff actually kicks in. So with that said then, we've got to see if we can produce more factories that produce those type of goods. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can kind of just slightly extend the industrial area here. So if I bring you out and if I go for a nice little bend there, where this could run down like that, we'll then utilize, we're going to switch up the alignment. So that's going to run down this way. We could allow you to run in. It's an industrial area, so it's not going to be like amazing, not going to have greatness in that regards. As simple as that is, it allows me to throw in a couple of large buildings just there and whatnot. So we'll place down a bunch of zoning here to begin with. So we'll just start with that, and hopefully some of that will be to do with like either food or convenience food related items. And then how we're looking over here now. So we're now starting to get stuff being placed down. We've got 5 jobs. You got to just wait for it to kind of like slowly level up as time goes on. So a few more jobs coming in, which should mean my production levels are increasing. Very nice. And the deficit is reducing only ever so slightly, playing around with it. So do you reckon we need to add in maybe a few more? We could, there's not a problem. I could kind of build it around this lake. Again, that's not a problem. Or I just add it within these areas here. I do like how that's kind of situated just there, so I think we're kind of going to be okay. There's the ability to add in some stuff around here. But we need some slightly larger areas to kind of give us the capacity. So I'm thinking maybe over here is probably the best idea. So, in terms of specialized zoning, the fertile land is mainly here and here. And then there's an awkward bit of non-fertile land there, which is all I really need for the livestock. So if we came off, let's just say, because I've got to do it very awkwardly right now. If I just come off like here. Oh, it's the wrong type of road. I need a dirt road. Thank you. And then cut off there. We then need the grain farm. No, do I do a grain farm? I'm going to do a grain farm there. We'll do livestock on this side. So if I implemented my livestock there. And then just go around the edges. And how far do I push this? I reckon I'm only going to go to about here. Because like I said, I don't want to go too crazy that this becomes an actual industry. You know what I mean? It's just enough for us to be self-sufficient. That's all it's pretty much for. I'll do grain next. So the grain can't be too big because it all comes down to the fertile land. That's what's going to hold us up here. So I reckon I'll go to about there. Because we're very close to non-fertile land. Right. I've got to sort out the water and the sewage and all that kind of jazz real quick. Only because it's not technically connected up anywhere just yet. Which I'll just run this to there. And then for power, we just have to upgrade this highway to having lights. Which I think that's all I needed to do. Yes. So a little bit of farming land now down. So this one provides, it's got 1 job so far. That one's got no jobs at the minute. This has got 9, 9, and 9. 9, 9, 9. All the 9s, boys. All the 9s right now. Call the police. And production then. So we've still got the surplus of vegetables. So we don't need to do much just yet with that. And we are starting to, again, pull down those deficits even more. Now, did any of those new factories that I just created fall around the food industry? I have since reduced the taxes. So food and food. Very good, very good. Any more? Did I see that convenience food there? So there is a couple. I won't say there's a lot. There's a handful. Oh, another one there. Food one there. There's a handful that will start producing for us. Now, when it comes to those goods, so we're trying to get the raw resource of them in a surplus so we could start producing them. But these are the deficits of what I've got. So I'm starting to actually create my own surplus of convenience food. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. I've then just got to find the surplus of actual food, which, again, we'll slowly start eating into the backlog of all of that. Which then should hopefully, you know, get us to where we need to be. So this complaint right now is for food. And when it comes to taxing food, if I go industrial, where's food, 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 food? Have I scrolled past it and not realized? It's at 0%. Now, is there a commercial thing? Hold on. So we might need to play around with the commercial side of it a little bit more. So if I now reduce the tax on the commercial side by, let me just go by 8%. Is that enough for them not to complain? Because it's the commercial that's selling that stuff. So by reducing them, would that have made it a bit better? It's a tricky one because I don't understand how this is an issue. Because in my head, I've reduced the import cost by 5%. So I've just made it 5% cheaper to originally buy the food and convenience food from outside of the region. So they could still sell it at the same price. The resource cost has become cheaper. So how has the resource cost become higher? That's what I don't understand, because I was always importing the product before. So these are, again, still slowly leveling up. These are now starting to add a few more jobs. This is exactly what we want it to do and what we want to see from this. So the production-wise of it, we're about to go into a surplus, not far off on the livestock front. So again, this is for the raw resource. And then we're not far off being in surplus for the grain. Again, it slowly takes time. It will get there. Now, we're in surplus, like I said, for the convenience food. And we are slowly trying to make a dent into the deficit here for actual food. Again, it will take time. It will take sweet, sweet time. So let me play around. Oh, we got a lot of medical issues over there waiting for an ambulance. Wait, hold on. Is this a new problem I've now got? Where's the medical over here? We have an ambulance over there. We have 6 vehicles in use. Do I need a big... Do you reckon I need like a bigger hospital? I know we got that over there, but I don't think they have ambulances, right? No. Do you reckon we just need like a bigger hospital in this area? Maybe. Maybe I need to replace it with something like this. So that is the city hall. There we've got the police station, the firehouse. Could I put that there if that was the only building? Yes, I could. Right, I'm going to redo the police station. I'm going to redo... What was that? Sorry, that was the firehouse. So police, fire, medical I've got to redo. Right, this is sidetracked me from my food thing, but that might be an issue. So, medical now drop down. It's a decent sized building that fits within it. We've got the ambulance bay west, ambulance bay east. That gives me 42 ambulances that we could pull from. Okay? Very important. So, policing then, we're going to go for we'll go for that UK style. I'm going to put these now over here. So, we'll drop the UK police station just there. Any upgrades for it? There is. Very nice, very nice. And then the fire, we'll go for the southwest fire one, yeah? Shall we do that? which is quite a lot. Is that a signature building? Yes. Put you there. And then we'll go Southwest Firehouse. Awkwardly, it is not positioned perfectly, but we'll have to use the Move It tool to get it perfectly. Drop a couple of upgrades. That's really annoying. What is that? That's to increase... Oh, the disaster aid thing. Helipad. Right, we'll leave it like that. And I'll drop in... Counterintuitive. Commercial. So maybe I do residential. Yeah, we'll do residential. Right, that just kind of rejigs all of that. Which is pretty handy. And has since looks like it's solved the issue. Right, high resource cost again still. Let me reduce the taxation on commercial then. So I'm going to bring this down to 5% on convenience food and normal food. See if that's going to change much. We'll see, we'll see, we'll see. I'm trying to find where the balance is. I still want to make money from them, but I'm trying to find where the balance is. So, we are now surplus on all the raw product. So we shouldn't technically need to import anything else right now. Technically. And then the convenience food deficit, never been there. We've always been a surplus. We were 75 tons, so that's definitely coming down. I need more factories that will produce food. Because I'm assuming... Let me just double check again. The convenience food needs food, doesn't it? So convenience food, no. No, okay, it's a completely different thing altogether. Okay, I thought convenience food just needed food as a resource. So consumer taxes, improving traffic routes, or increasing local resource production. What more do I need? I just need to increase local production, don't I? That's ultimately what I need to do. So we did have this area over here set up ready to incorporate some industrial. And I think we'll now get some more localized industry built nearby. So if I just go to there and then bring you down, this should help me with my factories. So industry, and I'm going to do a nice row here, going all the way down to begin with. And then we'll do a nice little row there, nice little row there. I'll fill that in here. And then do I do this little section? I think I'll do one there and I'll do one there. Leave that as it is. They'll need a car park nearby as well. So I'm wondering what type of car park we could throw in. I'm going to drop that right there, that car park. That's going to oof that building slightly. And then we got some parking nearby for these guys. So hopefully they bring us some food factories. So we can keep producing right now. Right. It's becoming more prevalent, this issue, across the region. These will keep leveling up slowly. And growing and expanding. So nothing really I need to do. It's now more the factory side of things. That's what it comes down to. So I might just implement a few more little zonings. So a few little pockets here and there of factories. The building's there, so you can't really do much about that, I'm afraid. So all to help us out. Now, it's not a storage issue because we're not producing enough of it. But I can't quite grasp the convenience food side of it. Now, it's all seeming to be food at the minute. Have we solved the convenience food issue? Do you know what, guys? No, there's a little bit of convenience food there. From what I've clicked on so far, it all seems to be food. Convenience food. That's a tree. Food. Convenience food. Okay, maybe it is still a little bit of a mixture. Maybe it is still a little bit of a mixture right now. So, production-wise... okay, we've heavily dropped the food deficit, and we've quite easily ramped up the production of food. So some of those new factories are got to be a lot of them are going to be food related. So timber, food. Okay, there's a food one there. Convenience food, paper, convenience food, beverages, food, paper. Okay, so we've ramped up the numbers. We've ramped up the numbers of what we're now producing, which is great. Is that train there okay? What's going on with that? It's crooked. It really is slightly crooked, isn't it? So we've ramped up the numbers then. So what else do I need to do? Do I need to keep reducing the taxes? Now, these are all multi-unit buildings, aren't they? So how does that affect the taxes? There's not a tax for, like, mixed zoning, is there? I'm going to reduce the tax now down to 3% on both of these. And see if that changes things. Again, we've heavily ramped up the numbers. Heavily ramping up the numbers of our production. So we're back with a little bit of deficit of grain. Okay, no longer in a deficit of grain. That was interesting. We must have leveled up slightly. And we're about to be in a surplus of food. We're not far off that being a surplus. So where's the expense at this point? Where is the expense? Now, industry, when it comes to... I mean, this could be the thing as well, the vegetable side of it. Let's reduce this to 10% right now. The vegetables... The livestock... Oh, hang on, hold on. The livestock's on 0. Grains on 0. So it was just vegetables that were still up there. Livestock's on 0 as well. So with all the price changes on that, is that enough for us to see any benefits? Like, what else do I need to now do? There's no taxation on growing the farm-related stuff. Is there traffic here? There is. I'm going to... Right, there is, but I don't like how that is set up. That shouldn't be like that. I want that to be a dedicated right turn. So I'm going to do it a little bit, I'm going to do it differently here. We're going to slingshot this puppy. There we go. Just make life a little bit easier for us. And then obviously tell this here that there is no right turn. Anybody making that right turn can just flow through. No questions asked. Right. So yeah, there's now no taxation on producing any raw resource for the farming industry. So let me just go through this again right now. Taxation. So to grow the grain, the vegetables, or the livestock, we've got it set to 0 tax. Okay? Then to create the convenience food and food, there is 0 tax. Okay. So why is the resource cost still high? What more do I need to do? The company is having trouble procuring resources to stay profitable. Now, is it a case of we do not have enough storage for this stuff? Is there not enough vehicles that can distribute the goods right now? I could add additional storage warehouses onto things. But ultimately, I don't think it's going to do what I want it to do. At the same time, that's not really... Make sure I'm bulldozing the right building. Why is that being forced to snap to the station? I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But that provides just extra storage. And it needs to be attached to the actual train station. So if I got rid of that, you still need a road connection, so pause. Where's this meant to go? I think it's meant to go on that side, isn't it? Yeah, so I'm just going to delete this. Get that road back in that I've just now oofed. Yeah, I'm not sure now what the issue is. I could make it where it's like negative tax and I'm paying them the money. Like, what more do they want from me at this point? There's nothing else I can do for them. There really isn't. There really isn't. So, let me try that, okay? Let's reverse the taxation. So, commercial... Oh, no, this is at 3%, sorry, to sell it on the commercial. So, if I put this down to 0, there is now no tax to sell the goods in the store. It is... Selling convenience food and food is now like a tax haven in Woodville. Like, what else do you need me now to do? I don't get how this is an issue. Now, it's having trouble getting the goods, even though it's got a lot of goods there. It seems to have a lot of goods. Stored resources, convenience food. You have the goods, so why are you not selling it? I wonder if I... Let me try this in Derby over here. Let me delete these 3 buildings. And then what do they grow back to be? Is what I want to find out. I'm going to delete all these buildings in Derby. So there's no complaints. And over here in Beechwood. Could it just be a visual bug that I'm stressing over? Like, what more do I need to do at this point? Let's see what they kind of build back to become. So hurry up, game. Speed up. Do times 8, even though you're only doing... Right, you're already complaining about product when you haven't got the product. You know what I mean? What more do you need from me, game? I've set the taxes accordingly. So you're selling chemicals, so you're not even in the same building. This clearly is selling something that is going to be either beverages or convenience food. You're selling chemicals. So you're complaining even though you haven't even got the goods right now. So hurry up, please. Show me what it is. Show me what it is. Petrochemicals. Oh, so after all that, it was that. You're still building over here. So you're still complaining. So, come on. Show me the money. Convenience food. Right, you are still the same thing. Your delivery van is now going to buy. Where is the delivery van? And it's now destined for Dixfield, which is out of the region. So, let's watch it. The game has really slowed down at this point. What's going on? Speed up, game. Speed up. So off it now goes to buy the goods. It's stuck behind a bus. And it should come back with the goods, and then there shouldn't be any issues, right, guys? Right at this point, there shouldn't be any issues. Can you hurry up and get to your destination? Please. Please. Hurry up right now. Right. It's now coming back with the goods. It's got convenience food in the van. So surely it shouldn't be an issue. I'm questioning my own sanity, and I'm really starting to think, like, have I actually missed something? Because I don't quite know what is going on right now. Alright, through it goes. Across the bridge. And now... where's he got to go again? Sorry, over to there. Did it take a shortcut route? Is he driving around here? God damn, this game is running so slow, isn't it? I can't even make it faster. Can't even make it faster than what it is. Right, you've just got your goods. And now you can sell. What is the issue here? Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm starting to feel like this is a bug. Surely this has got to be a bug, right? If I turn this off... right, I've turned the bank off. I am struggling to see the issue. So we've got no deficit right now. We've got surplus of our food products. Yet there's still a high resource cost. So it says on the issues, consider reducing taxes, which I have, improve local traffic routes, there is no traffic routes, or increasing local resource production, which we have. We have a surplus everywhere. Right? We have a surplus of every single resource. So taxes, there is no taxes. Okay? Production, surplus, surplus, surplus. Then the food it creates, surplus and surplus. We have a surplus of both. Right? What's the issue? What is the issue at this point? Is having trouble procuring resources and staying profitable? I don't see how that is now an issue. Nobody is eating anymore, guys. Nobody is eating anymore. Nobody seems to be wanting to eat. So I feel like I'm all out of luck. And I'm not quite sure what to do at this moment in time. Do you guys think this is a bug? Because I can't see what the issue now is. There is a surplus. It's pretty much tax-free at this point. What else have I got to do right now? There's vehicles transporting the goods. There's enough space in the warehouses. There's lots of local warehouses around to get ease of the goods. We've seen a vehicle go pick up some food, bring it back, and it was still not enough. Let me know what your theory is in the comment section down below. But until then, I will see you all soon. So, goodbye.